I would get made fun of a lot for liking a kid's show. That's honestly when I discovered the vast world of the Winx Club fandom. Hey there, welcome to the Winx Forever podcast. I'm Lola, creator, host, and lifelong Winx fan. I'm taking a deep dive into the very cool universe of Winx Club. So whether you've been a Winx fan since 2004 like myself, or you vaguely remember the show from your childhood, or you're being introduced to it for the first time, welcome. This is the Winx Forever podcast. Alright, it's time to look at the fandom. Don't get it twisted. Winx fans are some of the most loyal, devout fans there are of any fandom. To think that I've spent more than half of my life following this series, it's amazing. It's amazing to me, especially considering, it like my friend said, it's not cinematic poetry. It's not, just this grand thing by any means. No, it's the fans that are the heart of this franchise. It's the community surrounding the series that just drew me in and always has. It's what drew me back to the franchise, as I got older. When I was 9, Winx Club aired in the US and I was instantly hooked. My best friend at the time and I were completely fanatic about the series. A few years later, as we grew older and got into middle school though, she grew out of it. She grew out of the show and honestly started to look down on me for still enjoying the show for myself. She would make comments about how it was kid stuff and, I was a baby for still liking it. And that stuff hits. That stuff hurts, especially from who's supposed to be your best friend growing up. And so I would get made fun of a lot for liking a kid's show. That's honestly when I discovered the vast world of the Winx Club fandom. It's when I discovered the English forums on WinxClub.com. I discovered this whole community of fans around the world that had so many thoughts and feelings that I had about our favorite fairies. I was able to meet and talk to so many different people with different views and different backgrounds than me. And the beautiful thing was that we all came together over the mutual love for a show about a group of fairy friends who fought against evil. What? So recently I've been able to reconnect with some of the amazing creatives and artists that I used to work with on the Winx English Forum magazine. And it's been so refreshing to catch up and discuss the show and what it means to us and our personal headcanons and while anticipating this live adaptation and whatever it's going to do to the franchise. It's through this creative, talented fandom that the heart of Winx Club is truly lived on and will continue to do so even after Fate the Winx Saga, even after Winx Season 8, Lord God help us. There are a lot of fans that get hung up on the negatives about the franchise. And while, it definitely has its shortcomings, I just appreciate the fact that I can take a step back and really appreciate all the things that the show and its fandom has been and continues to be for me. And that's a place to be myself and to express my creativity through silly things like a podcast about a fairy show, and to commune with friends throughout the world that like to do the same thing. I keep thinking that this podcast is going to be something that is going to creatively drain me, but honestly, it's really fun, and I like talking about my fairy show. And I know that a lot of other people do too, and so that's why I'm excited to actually have this platform to talk about it with you guys and with my friends. And so, like I've said before, this is a passion project, 17 years in the making, and it honestly couldn't have come at a better time. I know I'm going to have and do have a lot of word vomit and feelings about Fate the Winx Saga. And I'm excited also to hear from you guys, the fans of Winx Club. Literally the heart of the franchise. I keep saying it, and it's true. So in the next episode, I will give you my initial thoughts and an overview look at Fate the Winx Saga before we dive in deeper into each episode, dissecting the characters, dissecting the plots, and really looking at the details of this show, which I'm very surprised are pretty well done. So, hope you'll join me. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode of the Winx Forever podcast, consider following our social media linked in the show notes below. The Winx Forever podcast theme is the song She Makes Magic by Big Wild.